Welcome back to Shul Lights. Today we're going to be creating our own flashlight from scratch. We're going to be using a Convoy S2 Plus host. We're going to put in all the different components ourselves. We're going to put in the emitters ourselves. We're going to make it exactly the way we want with the driver we want, the tint and color of the emitters we want, all that stuff ourselves. And just to show how easy it is and how this doesn't have to be a daunting process, I'm here with my 8-year-old son, Jake. Say hi, Jake.
Hi.
And I'm going to instruct him, and he's going to do all the work, right? Okay, yeah, he's nodding. Yeah, okay. So let's start out with what this is, like an overview. So I'm going to take a piece of paper here, and I'm going to draw for you guys and Jake this process. So in a typical flashlight, and this just, and you know, I'm going to have chapter markers, so if you don't need to know this stuff, you can just skip ahead. But in a typical flashlight, there's going to be a host, and in the case of the Convoy S3, S2 Plus, Convoy's numbers always get jumbled in my head. It's pretty long and cylindrical, and you know, there is a head up here, that's the head, and then there's a tail with a tail cap and a tail switch that's shorter and flatter, kind of like that. There's a switch back there. Now, at the top here, the part that we really care about is when you unscrew this, there's going to be a copper pill, it's called. The copper pill is like a little round disc that holds the MCPCB and the driver. Okay, so there's a copper pill. This is called the pill, and it's right there. And then you have a driver that we have to add. So a driver will go underneath it. A driver, and I'll show you what we're doing in a second. And the driver basically takes the power from the battery and converts it into current for the emitters. And the emitters are going to sit on a little tiny thin MCPCB, metal core PCB. It's also made of copper. And then the emitters, you know, there's going to be 3 of them because we're going to go do a triple today. So I'll just draw 3. And in the MCPCB, there's these little holes, and we're going to set an optic. And the optic is going to be a Carclo TIR, T-I-R, which is a total internal reflective. This drawing is maybe a little weird looking, but when you see it, you'll understand. They're like little cones that they act like reflectors, but they're like fiber optic reflectors. And so the light goes through them and it comes out the front, and this little tier will sit there. And then we're going to have a piece of glass over it, and then the bezel just holds it in. So that's basically a flashlight in a nutshell. And so when we order a Convoy S2 host, it comes with everything except for we need a driver, we need an MCPCB, and then on the MCPCB, we need emitters. Oh, sorry, there's one other thing we need. But we need emitters. We need 3 of them because we're going to go do a triple. So these guys right there. Oh, you know what? We also need a tier. Okay. And so put a little checkbox next to it. That's what these are, checkboxes. And the last thing you're going to need is between the MCPCB, because the MCPCB is designed for a single in this case. That's what the Convoy S2 Plus is normally set up for. And it's got a reflector. You're going to need something that sits in between these two. I didn't talk about it, but I'll put on this side something special called a spacer. Okay. And that spacer, which I'll show you exactly what to get, we're going to, I'm going to show you exactly what to get, and you got to make sure you get a Convoy S2 Plus so spacer fits. All right, let's take a look at some of these parts. So first off, we need a Convoy S2 Plus host, okay? All right. What color did we order, Jake?
Red.
Red, because you wanted a red one, right? And why did you want a red flashlight?
It's because it's the same color for the dark side in Star Wars.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that, but that's right. And then why? And also, what color is the light that it's going to make? You wanted what color for the emitters?
Red.
You wanted red. You want a red light. Okay, so we're going to go deep red today. Now, this is the host, and this is how it comes from Convoy. I just took the lid off. It comes just like this. And let me show you. I'll show you all the parts in a second. I'll show you the parts rapid fire. But this is the host, and inside the host, you take the head off. So you remember, here's the tail cap. Here's a long cylinder. And in here, you can see the copper PCB. And on this side, you can see there's a reflector. We're going to get rid of that reflector, okay? So this is the host that you're getting from Simon at Convoy. Okay, so there. So Convoy S2 Plus, check. Okay, now we're going to need ourselves a driver. So we go to Mountain Electronics for that. And again, I'm going to do these all rapid fire on the websites, and I'll put them in the links in the description. This is the driver we're going to use today. This is called a H17F or a Dr. Jones. This is my favorite inexpensive driver. So check, there's the driver, and that one's going to go right below the pill. And then we're going to need an MCPCB. So that's this guy. This is an MCPCB, and that's where the little emitters will sit on it. And this also came from Mountain. I got a triple here in the 3535, also sometimes called XP or 219C sizing, okay? This, we'll talk a little more about this in a bit. Now remember, I said that to sit on top of the pill, it needed a spacer. So here's the spacer we're gonna get. There's aluminum spacer. They come in different versions, different like copper and stuff like that. And that spacer, so that's the MCPCB will sit right there on top, and then this will sit in there on the pill. It'll make more sense when we do it. And the driver is going to be underneath the pill. And then we also need the emitters. And Jake, you said you want deep red, right?
Yeah.
So these are the SST20 deep red. And there we go. And those we got from Mauser.com. And then we need a TIR. I call it a tier, but most people make fun of me about that, but it's just easier to say than TIR. This is the optic, and you can see when we get, it comes in this baggie, and I usually leave it in so it doesn't get scratched up. But I'll take it out for a moment so you can see it better. This is like 3 separate cones. See from the side angle there? 3 separate cones that sit over the emitters, and they channel the light, okay? And that's all you need for building the light. Okay, let's do a rundown of the parts and where to get them, and then we will start diving into making the stuff, all right? Mm-hmm. All right, so the first thing we need is a host from Simon at Convoy, and you got to go to AliExpress, so AliExpress.com up here, and let me lock the exposure, and you're going to be looking for a Convoy S2 host. You want to make sure that when you search for it, that you get an S2 Plus host. And these are S2 Plus, and you see it says host, no LED or driver. And that's what this is. This is the exact one I got right here. Notice that underneath the listings, it says Convoy Flashlight Store. Convoy Flashlight Store is exactly what we're looking for. That's Simon's store. Anything else might work, but I would get it straight from Simon. He's going to have the latest versions and probably the best prices. So notice here we have a DIY flashlight host, and it might be like, I don't know, $1 cheaper, but I wouldn't get from them. I'd get from the Convoy Flashlight Store. Next up, we said we need a driver. And so if we go to mountainelectronics.com, this is the driver, and I just searched for H17F, and this is called the Dr. Jones driver. It's about $17. Is an excellent driver. You can set up exactly how many modes you want from 1 to 8. There's 2 pages, so it can actually be 2 flashlight setups in one. You can adjust any of the modes to any type of brightness you want. It's really awesome. It's a great driver, highly recommended. Then you're also going to need that spacer. And so again, at Mountain, you need the aluminum triple spacer. Well, there's other versions of the spacer. This is the one I got. Aluminum is a great metal for thermal properties. So aluminum's great. That's one of the reasons it's used on a variety of heat sinks on computers and stuff. And this is the exact one you want, the Convoy S2 Plus. And I just searched for this up here this SPCR TRIP S2 plus V1, and that'll get the right one. It's about $5. Then you need MCPCBs. I already had some on hand, but this is the one I'm going to be using today. This is the one for the 35 sized emitters. You can also get these 30-30 if you're going to do some OSRAMs and a variety of other sizes. This is the one we're going to be using today. It comes with a little resistor that you can optionally put right here, and then you can put these little secondary LEDs on there for if you're running a Dragon driver. We are not going to be running a Dragon driver, so I'm going to leave that resistor off, and I won't be soldering these little emitters on. Then you're going to need a TIR, and if you go to Mountain again and you put Carclo 105, just that much, you get all these different optics. We're going to be using the 10508 frosted medium spot optic, and it's about $1.50. The emitters, I'm not going to go over where to buy them. I'll at least tell you that you can go to Mauser, and this is the emitter we're getting, the SST20 DR deep red, but Mauser has thousands of emitters. So I would do research on that and find the one you want. It's just way too much to talk about in this video. So popular emitters right now would be 219B SW45K or a 519A. All the 519As are really good. So those would be great emitters to put on there. Okay, let's take all this stuff and let's get to it. All right, so you ready to do this, buddy?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so grab the red flashlight and take that head off. And as he takes the head off, one of the things I want to tell you guys is that it's kind of partially pre-assembled in the right order. We're going to have to disassemble it to put it together. That's right. No, we want to see inside the head, buddy. The tube doesn't really matter. Well, actually, you know what? Hang on. Inside the tube, I just want to point out there's a little spacer in here. The spacer is if we're using the existing reflector optic. Say this over that one there. But we're not going to use that. So we would just store this away for later. We'll just put this off in case we do another project. So put this tube off to the side. Okay, grab the head. Hold that to the camera so they can see. All right, so what we got here is we got a spacer ring or a retaining ring. That's this guy right here with the two little dimples. And that holds the driver to the pill, okay? But we need to take that off, and sometimes it's on kind of tight. So what we're going to use is this DSLR filter wrench. Here, let me get on the camera better. This DSLR filter wrench, you get these on Amazon. There's a million different brands, and we're going to use the pokey ends. There's also ends that are notched, but these are the ones we're going to be using. Here, why don't we do this on camera? Here, you hold it right there. I just want to show them how this works really fast. So what we do is we align these dimples into there like so, and then we turn it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and that's how we get it loose. And then once it's loosened, you can just kind of do it with your fingers. There we go, and I got it out. It's that little ring, and notice that the dimples do go upwards when you insert it. And so it came out of that pill. We'll set right there. Now the pill itself is loosened already, because we loosened it before the video. But if you haven't loosened it, you could use this DSLR tool. Oh, sorry, buddy. I poked you.
Yeah, that's good.
We could use this tool again, but with the other tips. Let me show them. The tips that look like this, right? These tips, or even these notch tips are my favorites. These ones, there's two of those, and you put one on one side and then one on the other side over here like so. Now, while we could use those notched, and in fact, here, let me grab this. If I use this DSLR tool with the notches, you can use it to get to the notches in the pill to remove it. But what I actually like doing is just using some narrow tweezers and getting the tweezers into the notches on the sides and holding it, kind of spread out and then breaking it free. And once it's broken free and it's kind of looser, you might be able to twist it with your fingers, but in the case of mine, it's a little bit rough for that. So then what I like to do is take the tweezers and stick them through these two holes. These holes are for wires if we're doing a single. and then just twist it like this. And this is how we can get the pill out, okay? So we'll just do this a lot, and the pill will come up. Look, does it seem good?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so that pill's coming out.
Woohoo!
So that's a little trick I learned, a little faster. And notice, what's that thing on the bottom? What is that? Do you know?
Is it this thing?
It is the reflector.
Oh.
See, and if I tilt it too much, it's going to fall into my finger because that's loose right now. In fact, we don't want the reflector. So let's put that pill. This is the pill. Let's put it down. Let me turn this over and knock the reflector out. It's coming out. It's coming out. There it goes. So there, we got two pieces now. This is the head, which is empty. See, I can put my finger through it. But we have the reflector, and we have a piece of glass. Let's keep that piece of glass right here. This reflector we're not going to use because that's for a single, and we're going to do triple. But I'll just put it upside down. Here's a little trick. If you're going to save a reflector and you don't want dust getting into it, you can tape the hole up and then just, set it upside down like this. So I'll set it off the mat a little bit. That way dust won't fall into it, okay? Oh, and one other thing about these reflectors, you can touch the outside of the reflector all you want. Don't touch that surface on the inside. This is an orange peel, so it would resist, at least if you put scratches or any dust in there, it wouldn't really show up in the reflector. But if you scratched it really good and it was a smooth reflector, it would show and just look awful. All right, here's the pill. So normally you'd put a 16 millimeter MCPCB in there, but we're going to be using a 20 millimeter so that it's a triple. Now, if you look, that triple sits right on top and there's that gap, right? Well, and also there's going to be all this extra space in the head because there's no reflector. So what we're going to do is we're going to use, this is where we're going to use that spacer, the spacer you talked about. So grab that spacer and put it on top of there. Yeah, it goes right like that. And then this one would go on top of there, right? Okay. And we're going to assemble this in a moment, all right?
Okay.
Now, the only thing that some of you people watching that might be a little more advanced are noticing is the wires have to go through the center of this MCPCB where the hole is, and the spacer has a hole in the middle as well, but the pill does not. The pill was designed to have holes on the sides because there was going to be an emitter in the middle. So we're going to have to drill a hole in the middle, so I'll show how to do that as well. Okay? All right. Let's get this started. Now, what I like to do is I like to start with the MCPCB, do all the emitters first, then we're going to drill the pill. Once it's all ready, then we're going to put the driver in.
All right.
Okay? All right. So let's show that we're going to use a hot plate here. Okay? We're going to put the hot plate. I use a Corning hot plate. It's like a chemistry hot plate, and I set it to 3, and then it gets nice and toasty. Somewhere between 2.5 to 3. And this little MCPCB, we're going to stick on there, and we're going to put those little emitters on there. So while that's heating, let's prep this MCPCB. All right? So this guy, let me get a better angle on this. There we go. This guy, we're going to use this Chip Quick SMD 291AX soldering paste, and we're going to put a little bit on this guy. Let me try and, there we go. Put a little bit on here. Let's get a little better light. You could totally do this. You know what? I'll do one, and then once you do the other two, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to use this like a syringe, and so we're going to push on the bottom, but we're not going to push super hard. If we push super hard, it's going to come shooting out, okay? I mean, hard, but not too hard. You'll see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze, and when I see it start coming out the end, and I guess you do have to push kind of hard. See it coming out a little bit? We're going to put like that much on.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be perfect, but put it on that center line. It's going to move all over, actually. Oh, I did 2. I'm sorry, I did 2. I'll let you do the last one. See what I just did?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and do that last one. So hold your fingers. Yeah. This is the first time he's ever held a syringe. There we go. And let's see here. Yeah, so squeeze a little bit from the end. When it comes out, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Yeah, it's harder than you thought, huh? Squeeze. There you go. Now stop squeezing and just, yep, there you go, okay? Now, if we got it all over the place, let's just say you made a huge mess. You didn't. You did a good job. But let's say you made a huge mess. At this point, there's no problem with just taking a Q-tip and wiping it off, okay? Especially while it's still cold like this. And it comes off especially easy with isopropyl alcohol. But I think that's fine. I like what you did. And we're going to, and what's interesting is when we make it hot, it's going to kind of melt and it's going to become silver and it's going to bond. It's going to get on all those little contacts, okay?
Just like the street?
So let's go ahead. And now I want to show one more thing before I put it on the hot plate. These little emitters are going to go on there, but we need to figure out the polarity of them. And the way it works is, let me use a pointing device here, is each emitter has a positive and negative side. And you see these little star symbols here? The stars, and you see right here, it says star equals negative. So the star side is negative of the emitter. Now, you could look it up on a data sheet, and I used to do that for a long time. But what I actually do now is I just use this diode tester, and you can use a multimeter set to diode as well if you like. So what I'm going to do is open up this little package here. Okay, dump them out, but don't lose them. Sometimes if I dump them out really hard, they just fly all over the place. Now, on the back here, you can see that these emitters have little plates, and you can see that there's a notch. Now, on some, that notch means negative, and some, that notch means positive. It actually varies from brand to brand. There's no consistency there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a diode tester, and on my diode tester, I know which side's negative. There's negative right there, and over here is positive. So I'm just going to attach it to the LED, and if it lights up, then I know I got it right. So here we go. On camera, not lighting up, so it's probably wrong. So let me turn it around, try again, and get it with my fingers. These guys are tiny. And there you go. Oops, I'm off camera, sorry. Try it again. So see how it lights up red when I finally get it? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, I like that red.
You love that, huh? That's awesome.
Yeah.
So if we look at the back, now remember that this prong was negative. So if we look at the back, we see that the notch does indicate negative, okay? And just because I want to double check. Yep, there we go. All right. So notch indicates negative. So what I'm going to do, I'll do one, you do two, okay?
Okay.
Okay, we're going to lightly pick these up. When we pick them up, we don't want to drop them, okay? And if we do drop them over the mat, okay? And on the back, so on the back, I'm going to make sure that the notches, the negative side, is always on the right. So this one right now is set up that negative is over here and this side's positive, okay? I'll do the same thing with this one. Okay, so negative. And then this one, negative. Okay, so it's negative, negative, negative. Now, on the little MCPCB, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate it until I get to one I want. And remember how this star is negative? Yeah. So I'll just pick one up and put it on there kind of like that. And I'll push down just a little, but not a lot. Not hard. Okay? So here, grab the tweezers. Okay, here, let me get a better camera angle too. There we go. Okay, let me rotate this for you. Mm-hmm. And then put it right. No, you twisted it. You twisted it. You can't, if you twist it like that, then it's not going to line up, buddy.
Really?
Yeah, remember I said there was a negative side. It's got to be the orientation. It's got to be the way I just did it, okay? So you got to pick it up and put it straight on there. Okay? Yeah, drop it. There you go. There you go. That's good. And it's okay if it's a little crooked. You'll see, because when it gets hot over there, it'll suck in. It'll be perfect. Okay, so we rotate this again. Okay. And then grab that one and put it straight across. Oh, wait, stop. I just screwed something up.
What?
See the star?
Yeah.
I rotated it like this. The home audience is probably laughing at me because you were probably about to do something right. I rotate it like this, expecting the star to be over here and the star's down here. So I was totally not looking at it. Oh no, the star's on the left side. So negative is on the right on both of these, but now it's on the left. So watch what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take this little emitter. I'm just gonna turn it around like this. Turn, 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 turn. Okay, now pick it up and stick it on there. Now, if we had screwed this up, and if we had soldered it on the wrong direction, it would have been okay, actually, because we're going to test it, and I'll show that in a bit, okay? Now, this one, negative's on the right. We're going to turn it, but look, the negative symbol's on the left, so we got to turn this one around, okay?
Okay.
Do you want me to do it, or you want to do it?
You do it.
Okay. Here we go. Turn it around. There you go. Okay, go for it.
Take this and then.
There you go. Yeah, yeah. I'm just gonna plop it just a little. Okay, perfect. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna pick this guy up like this. Put it on my fingy. Okay, and we're gonna stick it over on. Actually, let me put this down for a second. Let me adjust the camera first. We're gonna put it over on that hot plate over there. Okay. Yeah. Now this is gonna happen pretty fast. I should go handhold with the camera. Okay, what we're gonna try to see is when this melts. Okay. Now let me try and hold it still. It's gonna melt. See, it's already melting. And then it's going to, oh, see them going to the spaces where they wanna go?
Oh, yeah.
See them like kind of moving in?
And it's gonna shine now.
Yeah, that gray. Watch. Look.
Oh my god.
Was that neat?
Yeah.
Okay, now we have extra, but that's okay. Now what I like to do with that extra is I take a toothpick and I like to just bonk it a little bit. There you go, bonk it a little bit so that the stuff on the outside. Now I'm gonna pick it up with tweezers because it's super hot, okay? And I'm carefully not shaking it because it's still very liquidy. I'm gonna put it on this mat here, right there, okay? Now that mat is a silicone mat. It will not burn. I mention that because be careful what you put this MCPCB back down on because it's, about 200-300 degrees. Oh, I should have mentioned that. My hot plate, I have it set to about 200 degrees C, okay? So let's take a look at what we got here. Let's test it. Let's see if it turns on. So that's where we're gonna use our diode tester again. And you can see that here's where the leads are gonna go. And so we're gonna go negative there and positive there. So let's do it. And let's see what we got here. There we go.
Oh.
That works, huh? You like that?
Yeah.
And that's dim. It's gonna be way brighter than that. Okay?
Yeah.
So now what this tells us is it tells us that we're making positive contact. Now, let me see if it's still hot. That seems all right. Now what I'm gonna do is I am gonna take this tester and I'm going to go from the negative to the board itself. So I'm gonna sandwich it around it like this, okay? I'm gonna go negative on this side. Ah, look at that. That's bad. See how two of them have lit up?
Yeah.
That means we have to reflow it. So I'm glad we made this mistake, okay? And I'm glad we're testing for this. Let's go positive in board. Yeah, see that? That's a bad sign. So none of that should be happening. So what we're gonna do is we are going to put it back on the hot plate over here.
All right.
Okay, back on the hot plate like that.
Back on the hot plate.
Yeah, once it gets all liquid again, I'm gonna take the emitters off. Yeah, they're getting all soft and they're aligning. There we go. Yeah, see they can. And what's interesting is when you get it right, they kind of want to be where they should be. Like if I hit it, see how it kind of comes back. Yeah, like it's like spring loaded. They boing a little. So there we go. Okay, so there was an edit in the video. Something was messed up here. I'm not sure if it was a short in between the two pads of the, because there's a kind of a heatsink pad in the middle, and then positive and negative side to each diode. I don't know if there was, too much solder and a problem there, or if I'd had one reversed. I mean, that could have been the case too, but we just put it back on the hot plate, got them hot, took them off. We tested each individual diode to make sure that they were right polarity with this, and then we redid it very carefully. We did it all off camera because it's so hard to do on camera. So I'm sure you guys were probably watching the video and went, oh, you just messed that one up, but we didn't even notice. All right, so on the diode tester, we got negative here, we got positive here. So I'm gonna turn it this way, and then I'm gonna test the leads here, and you can see that it lights up. So that's great. Now, if I do that same test we were doing before, which is positive to the underside, nothing turns on. And then this way, negative to underside, and nothing turns on. But we go like this, and it turns on like it's supposed to. Perfect. That's what you want. Now we can proceed. All right? Cool. All right. Now, we are actually most of the way there. Let's make this a little prettier. Don't have to do this, but something I like to do is I like to take this little decanter of alcohol I have, and I like to take a Q-tip and just, you push a couple times, and this little reservoir fills up with alcohol here. And then I take it and I just clean some of this extra flux and stuff off here. Just looks ugly. Just want it cleaner. There we go. So that looks better. I'll probably put an edit in the video here. Just kind of. All right, so that looks better. That looks cleaner than it did before. We had it on the hot plate for a long time because we'd messed up a couple times. And so that solder really gets baked on there. If you want it off, two things you could have done to make it easier is one, not mess it up the first time. But secondly, I had the heat a little high. I was probably more around 250 to almost 280 degrees. I like to have it around 180 to 200 degrees for my paste. I had a little high because I wasn't watching the temp, and I put it on 3 to start with, and I didn't back it back down. No big deal, though. It all works. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to start assembling this thing, okay? So we need to create a hole through this pill. All right, so let's get a drill bit and do that. Let's go over to the drill press, okay?
All right.
All right, so to get the, drill started here, I like to use this tool. I forget what this is called. It's like a punch or something. Basically, you push really hard, and it punches back and makes a little divot that starts. So what I like to do is I like to put it right where I want it. So right in the middle here. Let me get over this, being a perfectionist. And then you push down, and it makes that little noise. And there's a little tiny divot there now. Okay, I'll do it a couple more times. And that just makes a little tiny mark. I don't know if you can even pick it up on camera. Little mark that the little drill bit can grab onto. Get the little laser showing us where it's going. The laser's not super accurate. I'm gonna just hand hold this as I come down, and I'm just gonna go lightly until I find that little spot, little divot. See a little metal coming out? Yeah. See that little metal?
Yeah.
Okay, now we got a bigger bit. This is the 5/32, and we got a little more cutting oil on there. Yeah, let's do this. Get this lined up. There we go, nice and lined up. There we go. It's nice. All right, let's get rid of all those filings. Okay, so we drilled a hole in the MCPCB. It looks nice and clean. I didn't even do any post-processing. This is right off of the drill press. And you can see that little guy lines up perfectly. A little hole through there. and then this will go on top. And you might ask, well, how does this stay on top? And that's the thermal compound. That's this, I use Arctic Silver 5. All right, so let's put a driver in, okay? Yeah, let's put a driver in. Let's do that. So grab the driver bag right there and go ahead and open the little baggie and get the driver out. And we'll get this thing all ready to go. Yeah, go ahead and pull that driver out of there. Yeah, okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take these leads, and you see how there's a black and red one?
Yeah.
And you're going to shove them through that hole. Okay?
Oh.
Okay, so shove them through.
Oh.
Yeah. So pick up the pill. Hold it in your hand. The pill. Yeah. Again, that's right. And put that one in there and that one in there.
Oh.
Yeah. Like that.
Kind of hard for me.
Yeah, it's all right. There you go. Cool. Now let's see, and let's hold it like that. Okay. So, yeah, so that's it, right? So it goes through exactly. You got it. Okay. That's the hole we made, right? Now this little driver here, you kind of just pull on these like this, pull a little bit, and this driver sits on a little shelf. Right. I'm only doing it because I know what I'm doing, you know. But look, see right there? Yeah. It's got these little grippy things from where the PCBs were all attached to each other in manufacturing. I like to leave them. I don't cut them off, but I'm going to push hard, and it's going to fit in that shelf there. And then we're going to have these little leads, okay? So watch. Just like that.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, is that neat?
Yeah.
I like that. So it just fits in there. And at this point, you can probably just leave this like this. Like, we don't even have to put this ring back on. This ring is for a convoy driver. The pressure on this thing, and in fact, I don't even think this is going to fit. See how it's all over the little chips? There's a guy who makes custom little rings to put these on. I'm going to leave it off for now. And if I really, really cared about this driver not moving around on me, notice how I can rotate it a little bit. See, I just did that. Watch, I'll push a little again. I'll rotate it just a little bit like that. Oh. What I'm going to do is if I really care, maybe I'll show this on video just because it's probably best practices. I will take this little part of each of these 7135 chips. These are called 7135 chips. And I'm going to solder this part to the pill itself. And I like to do it right where the notches are, actually, because it just kind of grabs better. There's more surface area. It's something I've seen Jeff Henko do on his customs. And it's reversible. You can heat it up and get the solder back on and pull the driver out. So we're going to just do that, okay? And that one's tricky, so maybe I'll do that one myself. But then you are going to solder these two leads to this MCPCB, okay? Okay. These are too long. What we could do is we could leave them long like this and then just kind of like shove them back into the pill. There's actually space in there. Look, see? Maybe we will do that. There's lots of space in there, so it's probably not an issue. But one thing, too, is they're just so long that maybe we should trim these down a little bit so we don't have to shove so much in. So I think off camera I'm going to do that. I'm going to at least trim the red down to where the black is. Or yeah, at least that much. Get rid of that much red. Okay, so I just trimmed the red one down a lot. It's a little longer still than the black, but it's about the same length now. So that's pretty good. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the spacer on and the MCPCB, okay? So the spacer and the MCPCB should be in contact with each other with this thermal compound. So I'm going to do the first one, and then I want you to do the second one, okay? So what I'm going to do is this surface right here is going to be in contact with that. So it's easier to apply this stuff. Put just like a little bit like that, not a lot. We don't have to overdo it. And then I like to take my little knife here and I just spread around like it's peanut butter on a sandwich or something. Yeah, I just need a really thin layer like that.
Peanut butter.
Yeah, this does not taste like peanut butter. And as I said, it doesn't have to be like perfect, but you just want a thin layer. It's just so all the imperfections in the metal kind of mold to each other. okay? And then I'm going to do this one, and you'll do the next one, okay? So we're going to watch. Now that I've got it on there, I'm going to put these through the hole, okay? So like that, through the hole. Okay, and then I just slide it together like so. And it's okay, like I'll push it around a little bit, like I'm turning a circle. Oh, I'm off camera. Turning a circle, and that is actually spreading the paste all over the place. Oh, interesting. This pill must have a high spot on the edge. You can see that the edge of it right there, it has the thermal paste, and the middle doesn't have any. So maybe I'll just put more then to try and fill up that cavity. It's not super desirable, but better than not having contact. So now I'll go like that, and I'll spread it around. That, yeah, I can tell already, because when I go like this, it doesn't want to come down, so I can tell that that's in contact now. Okay, cool. And now, what I want you to do is I want you to flip over the MCPCB and put it on there. We'll spread it around, okay? So take the syringe, yeah. Yeah, go ahead and hold it in one hand, yeah. Hold that in one hand. Hold the syringe in the other hand, yeah. Put like a blob on there, like the size of like a, you know, like a pea or something. A little more, I would say double that. There you go. Stop. Now, like just, well, you know what I do with this little dangly thing? Yeah. I just like wipe it. Because you got to put it over there anyways, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to spread it like peanut butter. Now, I've seen you spread peanut butter. You are not awesome at it.
I am not.
So, here, why don't you hold it in one hand and give it a go. Try, and if you make a big mess, then I'll jump in. But go ahead and hold this. All right, Jake was doing a great job, and I just finished up a little bit. Now I'm going to set it this way, obviously, because if I flip it over, it's going to be all over the place. Okay, there you go. Now, do you want to put this on there? Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, so what we're going to do, right, is leave this here. Like, pick it up like this on the edge, and then go like that, and then make these two stick through, okay? Yeah, like that. There you go. Push those together. Let's see. There you go. Let's see how you did. Yeah, there you go. Now center it. Yeah, center it. Exactly. Get in the center. And then, watch. Just use your fingies. Like this. Just push it over like that. There you go. See? And you don't have to worry too much about centering it, because when you put it in the head and push everything together, it will automatically center as well, because of the optic and everything will push it all around. And I'm gonna do like a 1/8 twist, just like this. Just not even 1/8, like that much. Just kind of to get that thermal compound all smashed around. Okay, cool. Now here's gonna be the hardest part. This is gonna be brand new for you. It's gonna be soldering these. Are you excited?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so let's do it. It's gonna be your first time soldering, okay? All right, so to solder this, we're gonna put it in my little cylindrical vise here. This vise is designed for bigger things than this pill. So what I do is I just take like a napkin like this, and I just kind of wrap the napkin, let me come back a little bit, wrap the napkin up a bunch of times around it. Okay. Shove it in there like so. Okay. Oops, I'm off camera again. Okay, so I'm just adjusting the vise here. And there we go. Something like that. Doesn't have to be super tight, just tight enough that it's not moving around on us. Okay. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use flux, and we're going to pre-tin the solder pads, and then we're going to do it, okay? Okay, so we use Kester flux here, this stuff, and acid paste flux. And I just got a big, tub of it here. And I just grab a little bit on a piece of wire. And we're going to be soldering to this negative and positive spot. So I'll just smear some of this right here. Just make sure it's there. And what the flux does is it allows the solder to stick to these pads. This is an acid, and it gets rid of the oxidation, and the metal wants to stay. You're going to use tweezers, and you're going to make these wires go to where it's supposed to go. Now, the black one, there's a plus and a minus. Okay? Which one do you think is plus? Which one do you think is minus?
I think the black is minus and the red is plus.
That's true. That's right. Okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to take and you're going to like, watch this. You're going to kind of shove it down. See, I'm grabbing and shoving. And then I'm going to take, when it's about that much sticking out, and we're going to pull it over. And then we're going to like hold with one hand. Okay, like this. We're going to push it down a little bit. And then we're going to hold over like this so that this thing is right above that little pad. See that little circle?
Yeah.
And then we're going to use the hot iron and going to push down while we melt metal onto it. Okay? Does that make sense? All right, so grab the hot iron out. So grab by the green part, pull it out. Now that is super hot, so don't touch that to anything except for what we mean to, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, if you get freaked out, just hold it in the air and tell me you're freaked out, okay? Okay. Now, do you see how one side of it's bent?
Yeah.
Look at the tip. Look at the tip. See how one side of it's bent?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you got to make sure you line it up correctly, okay? Because the bent side has to touch. Now, what I want you to do is... Hang on 1 second, buddy. No, go ahead. Go ahead and get ready. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to pre-solder this part here. So what I want you to do is get your tip down here and touch to the metal. Yeah, there you go. Now down to it, to the pad. Yeah, down to the pad. Yeah, no, touch the pad. Actually touch it. There you go. Now level lift up. Perfect. It's a good solder joint to start with.
Oh.
Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this little wire here, which is pre-tinned already. And I'm just going to, hang on, I'm just going to get this ready to go. Like that. Okay. Okay, ready to go. Cool. Now what we're going to do, okay, now you can take the tip and touch it, smash it down, okay? Yeah, smash it down, smash hard. Like here, watch. Here, watch, hold on. Get it melted, there you go. Now let go. There you go.
Oh.
Was that fun?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do the other one, okay? Okay, so we're going to pre-tin again. Pre-tin means, what I like to do is I like to loosen this a little bit and rotate around so it's a better angle for us. Okay, why fight the angle, you know? Okay, so we're going to pre-tin again, okay? So right there, smash this down onto there, okay, remember? Okay, yep. Melt it, there you go. Get it, yeah, there you go. No, touch it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, a little blob there, that's perfect. Okay, now let's do this red one. Okay, so I'm going to push this down into the driver.
Push.
Yeah, hang on. Come on, you. This one's being a pain in the butt. There we go. Get that one down in there. Okay, just a bit. Pull it over. Okay, let me get in the right spot. Let me get in the right spot. Okay, now I'm gonna hold down with my tweezers.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. Push it down, remember? Yeah, look. Okay, yeah, look, I think you got it. Yeah, I think that was it. I think you got on the first go. Let's just make sure. I hope I was on camera for that. That was really good. Yeah. No, that's perfect, man. Look at that beautiful little circle.
Beautiful circle.
Yeah, I think you did a good job. I mean, that was your first time ever, and that's awesome. Now, if you guys have never soldered before, when you're done soldering, always make sure, you clean the tip. So poke in there, wipe around, get all solder off. Okay, it's nice and clean now. That's good. Okay, let's put this back in there. Okay, let's test our work here, buddy. Okay, so you got this thing soldered. We know that the MCPCB was fine because we tested that. you now have the driver on there. This thing should be ready to go. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Now, the only thing we haven't done yet is we haven't soldered the driver in. Now, I haven't done that yet because I want to test everything first before I solder it in. You know, why make it hard to remove if we haven't done it yet? So let's assemble it. Let's assemble it and see if it's okay. Okay. You ready?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm ready.
All right. We're going to do some assembly. Okay. So first off, grab the optic. Yeah. Grab by the sides. Yeah. The sides. And you see how there's like three pegs here? See these pegs that I'm touching?
Yeah.
These pegs go in these 3 holes. So line it up and stick them in there. Okay, here, wait, your hand's right over, use your right hand, because your hand is right over the camera. There you go. And just lightly, and then see how it's not quite right on this side, so just turn it a little bit. There you go. Now, yep, it falls in. That's right. Perfect. So that's lined up.
Oh.
Now, this piece of glass goes on top. Just like that, yeah. Now what we're gonna do is this is going to go over the whole thing, and then, so here, take that right there in your hand, and just carefully slide it over it. Yeah, like that. Don't knock anything off, just slide it over. Yeah, there you go. Okay, makes sense?
Yeah.
Now we're gonna screw it just a little bit, exactly. Okay, and we got screwed a little bit. And then we'll do a little bit more. Now, here's the thing. At this point, we're always going to keep it in this order, this orientation. We're not going to turn it over. The reason why is gravity is pushing everything the way it needs to be. And we don't want that optic to pop off, to like jump out of the holes.
Yeah.
Because if you know those little holes you put it in?
Why?
Well, because if they jump out of the holes, then the little legs will rotate and they'll destroy your little emitters. Okay? So if you look, the optic is not rotating. We can see it's straight. And I'm going to keep just touching the bottom and rotating it. And sometimes I can just use frictional pressure from my fingers the whole way. If I can't, I'll end up using my tweezers to hold the bottom. Yeah, see, it's getting a little bit harder. Now, I also want to point out that I like using lube on threads, but don't use lube on the threads of this thing, the driver, the pill. It's not a good idea. So I'm going to keep it up and down, but I'm going to put those in the 2 notches. There we go. And so now the pill stays stationary while I rotate the outer casing. Okay, now we're getting close. Do you see how it's almost done?
Yeah.
Okay.
But what is that for?
That we're not going to use. That is this is a reflector if you're using 1 emitter. See how 1 emitter would go in the middle?
Oh.
But we're doing 3.
Okay.
That's why this is so cool, man. This is cool because you're going to have it a lot brighter because there's 3 emitters. Now that it's in contact and touching, I can turn it over and I can just kind of cinch down hard on this. So I will do that. And you don't want to gorilla cinch it. You don't want to do that. But you want to go enough that it pushes everything like flat together and that it makes a seal. There's a little O-ring in there that I didn't remove. There should be an O-ring between. So it's metal, O-ring, glass, and then the TIR. Okay, now remember that driver is just press fit. I haven't soldered it in or anything, but there's no reason for the driver really to fall out because the battery is only going to push against it. So Jake, why don't you go ahead and put that battery in? Yeah, go ahead. Okay, why don't you go ahead and put this on top? Yeah, go ahead and put it together. Hold those flashlight with both hands. Yep. And let's test it out, man. Let's see if this... It works! It came on right away because the button was already clicked. Do you love that?
Oh my god.
Okay, now click the back. Let's make sure the button works. Awesome. Click it again. Cool. Now the driver should be set up for modes already, so if you lightly tap, you should go through modes. Yeah. Keep going. Yeah, there you go.
Oh.
You like that? Yeah, let's see it on camera. Let's see it on camera. So it's off right now. Click it on. It's on the lowest, and you can tap, tap, tap. Isn't that great?
Yeah.
So there's 4 modes set up right now. A dim one, kind of a medium low, a medium high, and then like a turbo.
Oh, cool.
You love it?
Yeah. Okay, can we get this thing in?
Oh, you want the lanyard?
Yeah.
All right, you can do the lanyard. That's a fancy lanyard. I want to point out to the people at home, this is a fancy one. This one, it actually unplugs, and then you can just put this on the tail, and then it's kind of neat. Here, why don't you go put that through? You did a good job, dude. Yeah, that's great. I wasn't even looking, and next thing you know, you had it done. So now what you do is, now that you got it through, you take this one and you put it through that loop. Yeah, put it through there, and then pull that. Yeah, there you go. Okay, now put the lanyard back on.
And oh,
You're fine. Now just click it together.
click it.
Yeah, just inserts and clicks.
Boop.
There you go.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, you like that?
Yeah.
So that was a long video, but I hope you can see that anybody can do this. It's not that hard. Go forth and make your custom flashlight of your dreams. All right, guys. See you in the next video.